Hello everyone, welcome back to the Malmö 2018 Regional Championships for the Pokemon Trading Card Game. I'm Nicholas Pierce. I'm joined once again by the lovely Lydia. Come back.
Thank you, Nick.
And so we're only 2 rounds away from the finish, so it is round 8 of 9, and to make things a little bit different, sometimes what we like to do is, if there are 2 players who perhaps we don't know as well, who perhaps made their way up to the ranks but not been featured on stream before, then it would be a good idea to feature them, and that's exactly what we've done. So we have, from the UK, we have Jacob Mallender, and he will be going up against Adrian Sado, who's come all the way from Canada, believe it or not.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I was actually just asking about that. He said the main reason why was because he didn't want to travel to what he called one of the most dangerous cities in the US. So
you decided to come to Sweden?
Yeah, instead, and he got a reasonable price for flights as well. So, and obviously it's paying off for him because he's sitting here at 511. So.
Yeah, so he's almost in day 2, and that's why we decided to put that match on stream for you guys.
Yeah, it is a win and in. If anyone, either one of these players wins this match and they do not tie, they are practically a shoe-in for day 2. So they are just currently setting up right now. We're actually not 100% sure what they're playing just yet. We're getting the deck list for you just in a moment, and they're setting up right now. Oh, I see. I see a Rockruff and a Octillery and a Remoraid in Adrian's hand, so we're going to assume it's going to Buzzwole, Lycanroc on the right. And then on the left, with Jacob, not entirely sure just yet. I believe that the deck lists are making their way over now. So definitely Buzzwole, Lycanroc, but I wonder what Jacob's playing.
We will know in a few seconds.
There we go, so the deck lists are coming right now, and actually,
see the handshake,
and they are off.
Oh,
okay.
looks like a mirror match.
So yeah, this is a Buzzwole Lycanroc mirror match, unless he's playing Garbodor.
Yeah, that could be.
Okay, but
so we see a parallel city directly in the first turn, limiting Jacob's bench and an end.
Yes, and interesting to see actually Adrian benching the Energy Keeper Carving. Of course, this Carving having the ability that means that any basic energy attached to your basic Pokemon can't be discarded by Pokemon effects. So it's really, really good against stuff like these mill decks that we've seen being popular around the place, and of course enables you to have access to Carving Break as well, which has that really great Diamond Gift attack, which allows you to attach fighting energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon.
Yeah, and now I have Jacob's deck list, and indeed he's playing Buzzwole Lycanroc without any Garbodors.
So it is pretty much just a straight mirror match then.
He is playing a 1/1 Alolan Muck line though.
Oh, okay, that's quite interesting. So Alolan Muck is a card that was pretty much, when it came out, it was pretty straight away to be a card that has potential. It's similar to what we got Garbodor in the sense that it negates abilities, but you don't need a tool attached to it for the ability to trigger, unlike Garbodor. And but it only stops the ability to hit a basic Pokemon. So this is still quite powerful. It stops things like Oraguru, it stops Lele GX, doesn't stop Zoroark, which obviously is quite important, but still a very powerful card. And now as we see
Max Elixir.
Yep. And
failed.
Another one to add to the tally for those of you following along at home, 21 out of 32. And Jesper does not look happy about that. We get to see him in the corner. Meanwhile from Jacob, you assume benching what looks to be a Regirock, and then a Remoraid, and then playing a Sycamore, just discarding a bunch of other stuff. No energy though, so that was a really not great start from Jacob. Not even a single energy to attach. Even if you found a strong energy, you could actually just KO that Remoraid outright.
Now we see a Carving Break.
So this is the card we mentioned this before, allows Adrian to really play fast and loose with his energy, because he can use that Diamond Gift attack just to attach him straight back. And he does have the Octillery too.
Now he's probably going to dig for a Floatstone.
Probably.
As well, and Sycamore discarding 2 energies. Of course, this is what you want to discard, what you want to see in your hand if you have a Sycamore.
Yeah, especially if you're playing Carving Break, especially. Normally, a lot of Buzzwole decks, they wouldn't want to discard energy, but with Carving Break, it's absolutely fine. It looks like Adrian was not able to see a Floatstone off of that Sycamore though, so that Octillery is going to be stuck in the active for at least one more turn, unless he can thin out his hand enough to draw some more of a Abyssal Hand. Oh no, of course he's already used the Abyssal Hand, so no, can't even do that. So there goes the Brooklet Hill, and going to... It'd be interesting to see where he actually gets off this, actually opts to get nothing, wants to leave that bench slot free from maybe Tapu Lele GX for example. And so with that, I don't think he can do much of anything else because he can't really retreat his Octillery.
But it's not too bad actually. He knows that Jacob does not have such a good hand. He has played no energy, and
yeah. And funnily enough, just
Aw.
drawing energy right off top of his deck there.
Top deck it.
Yeah. But a little bit late, would have liked to see, especially like I said before, if he had the strong energy last turn, he would have KO'd the Remoraid, but he has to be content with going for the Jet Punch this turn. His saving grace is that Adrian also wasn't able to attack him back, so the tempo of attacking is still in Jacob's favour somewhat. And here goes the Brooklet Hill again. Gonna go for a Rockruff.
He's cute with the Rockruffs.
That become ferocious, sort of bloodthirsty, eyes-ridden GXs. And they're going for the Abyssal Hand now, going to be able to draw just one off that, and it looks like after that, probably going to have to be content with just doing a Jet Punch. Oh no, actually, you've got Tapu Lele. So there goes Tapu Lele with the Wonder Tag.
Looks like he's eyeing up for an N, but decided to go for the Cynthia.
Yeah, I think he doesn't want to, he wants to avoid Cynthia if he feels like he doesn't have enough of a read on Adrian's hand, good or bad, so just save the end for a situation where we monitor later and just refresh his own hand to 6. And actually a pretty decent draw. He's not much that'll be good in this turn, but he's got some energy in hand ready to get stuff going really properly next turn, and here comes the Jet Punch. Going to be doing 40 to the artillery and 30 to the Venture Rockruff. Back to Adrian.
I was just having a look at both players' supporter lines and realized that Adrian is not playing any Cynthia, which is quite interesting. Adrian.
That is interesting. So opting not to. Actually, he's playing one new card from Watch Prism. He is opting to play Power Pad.
Ah, yeah.
So this is a really cool card that we mentioned before. It kind of came back first printed in Flashfire.
And, yeah, I can remember this.
Yeah, and it recently came back. Allows you to shuffle 2 supporters from your discard pile into your deck. Now, back when it was around, it wasn't really that useful because it was just. I mean, Versus Seeker came out 2 sets later, and it just kind of, by comparison, it's like, why would you ever play Power Pad? But now it's a lot better because the sort of supporter engine now revolves around searching them out from the deck via Tapu Lele checks as one tag. So it actually makes complete sense to use Power Pad, shuffle them back into the deck, and then you've got one tag to search for them, and it works out really nicely.
Yeah. And we say Guzma.
Ooh. Gonna be able to bring up that carving break.
Multi-switch.
So actually that's going to be really cool. So he's able to do Abyssal Hand. And we know that there's 2 energy in the discard pile already, so this Diamond Gift is actually going to be pretty huge, as he's going to be able to use it to charge up a Buzzwole.
I think we're going to see a Max Elixir first.
Ooh, so we've got the pen at the ready. Oh, maybe he's going to decide to hold off. No, he's going for it. So
wow. There are quite some energy.
Yeah, and it's another success to the tallies, and that is now 22 out of 33. Oh, yeah, 33, not 32.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we are at around 2/3 hit for Max Elixir.
Pretty decent, all things considered. Is that exactly 2/3? Yeah, it's exactly 2/3.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We are at exactly 2/3.
Nice. So now, back on Adrian's side. Wait, did you play another Max Elixir and we didn't notice it? No, he didn't. Okay, good.
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's a Diamond Gift, able to put 2 fighting energies onto the Buzzwole, which is really, really cool for him. And that means that Buzzwole is threatening a Knuckle Impact next turn, and this is really showing one of the assets that Carving Break can provide you, just being able to suddenly out of nowhere threaten a massive amount of energy.
I think Adrian has decided to go with a way more consistent build. You see, he has 2 auxiliaries into play, and with that carving, he just has a great energy acceleration.
Yeah, so you're able to draw lots of cards every single turn, and be able to pump out loads and loads of energy just to make sure that he never misses a beat with the free energy attacks. Meanwhile, from Jacob's side, he was able to get the strong energy onto the Buzzwole, that's onto the bench one specifically, so that's not too bad. He's not going to be able to retreat this Active 1, I don't think, so for now he's going to have to be content with doing another Jet Punch for just 30, or rather 40, and then 50 something on the bench. But it is, it's quite clever that he is focusing on powering up the bench one now, because I think he knows that he won't be able to attach enough energy to the active before it gets knocked out to actually make that energy attachment on the active worthwhile.
Yeah, I think it's way safer to commit to the active Buzzwole just for dealing Jet Punch pressure.
Yeah, and then your second one is the one where you put the second and third energy to do the bigger attacks.
And he also sees the threat of Adrian's powered up Buzzwole, so He may be thinking, well, okay, I'm probably not going to get the first knuckle impact, but I better make sure that I have a good answer to it.
Yeah, we do see that Adrian played, looks to be an Ultra One, just failed it. Attaches a strong energy to the Lycanroc, so that's going to be something that Jacob's going to want to deal with ASAP. There's going to be threatening a dangerous rogue otherwise, which, as we've seen so many times today, is an absolutely devastating GX attack, and then follows it up with an N.
So, if you were Adrian, what were you hoping to get from that end now, Nick?
I don't think he necessarily needs to hope to get anything. So he can already retreat the Carbink, right? Because it's got the 1 energy on it. The Buzzwole is already doing 160 damage. You could just KO with Absorption. That's already an option over to him. It would of course mean that he can't threaten Dangerous Rogue later on. And actually he gets the Float Stone, so he could even preserve the energy on... Oh no, he can't because there's a Choice Band on it. But yeah, basically either hope to get a Choice Band if you really want to get the KO and Knuckle Impact, or just be happy to take the KO with Absorption, and then that way you can actually attack next turn again, which could be pretty big. What's he doing? Yeah, he's... was he... Oh, hold on. Did the Buzzwole already have damage on it? It must have...
Yeah, from the Carbink.
Oh yeah, of course, so actually, yeah, it was fine. It was, because the Diamond Gifts course, so it already softened it up, so yeah, Knuckle Impact actually will be enough.
20 plus 30, so there were 50 damage on it.
Yeah, so 160 added to that will be enough, so then no need to use Absorption GX in that case. And now it's back on Jacob again. He's promoted the the Regirock into the active, and he's attaching to the Rockruff both the Fighting Energy and a Choice Band. Now here comes an Ultra Ball, discarding Acerola and Brooklet Hill. And he just opts to get nothing off of that, so he's just trying to get some cards he doesn't really want out of his hand. Maybe looking to draw more of Abyssal Hand. And that's what he's doing right now. So, 3 more for him, and he's actually just going to concede.
Wow! Game 1 goes to Adrian.
So Jacob not able to, I think he may be remediing him Max Elixirs just so he can get a 1-hit KO attack back, but missing them and not seeing any means of drawing more cards, just decides to scoop up his cards and save time for game 2. Quite a wise decision, actually.
Yeah, it is.
I think you saw that if that game carried on as it was, that Adrian was going to run all over him, so it's good that he's conceded now to save enough time to make sure game 2 and game 3 complete.
Yeah, so it's always interesting to have a mirror match where players play very different versions of a deck, so you can compare what differences really let one player win a game.
Yeah, absolutely. So there goes. Well, so they're going to be bringing themselves together now and getting ready for. They're going to be trying to think about what they want to do differently to approach this mirror match. There's when you're playing very similar decks, it's a very subtle nuance of difference between an exact 60-card mirror and just a similar archetype mirror, because like I said, Adrian has the Carbon Break, as we've already seen. Jacob doesn't have that, so there's actually slight differences in this. Yes, he does. The Muck could stop the opposing, or it could stop the Regirock EX, for example, from boosting damage. It could stop. Not that it's relevant, but it stops energy discards. So actually, that could be relevant against some other stuff, I guess. But
we have Tort, for example, playing enhanced hammers.
Yeah, exactly. But there's but you wouldn't want to shut that off though, because you'd want to stop. Also, the Carbink only protects your basic energy, I think, so it wouldn't make a difference in that case, but there's definitely relevant things in any case. Right, now, Jacob's going to be going first. He starts with a Remoraid, and looks like he's got a Buzzwole in hand ready to go. That's great for him. There goes, it just goes down straight away with strong energy, and he's got a Tapu Lele and a Choice Band too.
That's a huge start.
Pretty decent, so he's probably going for a Cynthia here, because I can't imagine he wants to discard the rest of the stuff in his hand. And yeah, he's going to play that straight away.
So he's probably looking for a Float Stone now.
Yeah, although even if it is turn, that's not the end of the world. It would be quite annoying for him if Adrian was able to get out his Regirock and attach strong energy, because then of course Remoraid would get KO'd. So from that sense, it would be nice to get the Float Stone straight away, just to protect that Remoraid, but it doesn't look like that's happened. So what he might be doing instead is going for a second Remoraid now, just so that he has one to fall back on if his active gets KO'd.
Yeah.
Or Rockruff as well. There it is. down goes the Rockruff. And then it's just a pass from Jacob as we go into Adrian's turn, and his hand is looking very, very brown, just like lots of energy.
Yeah.
And then just playing the end.
Yeah, he was almost showing Jacob his hand, like, look what I got.
Yeah.
PTCGO shuffling algorithm is so bad.
In real life. You know, it's funny, that's actually a good time for an anecdote. So when a lot of people say that, the PTCGO shuffling is really bad, what they actually mean is that their real life shuffling isn't good enough, and that the PTCGO shuffling is too good, it's like too accurate, because if you're shuffling properly, in theory, every now and then you will get hands like the ones you get on PTCGO. So like, that's kind of a weird thing, but that's the story for another time. Anyway, Adrian's draw of the end actually pretty decent. He was able to get himself a Rockruff, so I did not be going down straight away. It looks like the Remoraid will be safer now because Adrian did not find the strong energy. He attached a basic fighting to the Buzzwole before playing the N, and that's good. It's good for Jacob as well because he did have the Ultra Ball. So if there was strong energy, then Adrian could find the Regirock here and actually get the KO. Unless it's prized, actually. So it might not have mattered anyway. But in any case, it hasn't happened, so it doesn't really matter. And now he has to decide what he wants to go for. And it looks like his option is Remoraid, yeah. He wants to make sure that he has that option to just draw more cards every single turn. Because as we found out over the course of today, drawing cards is good.
Not only today, Nick.
Yeah, exactly. Not even... Well, exactly that, yeah. Not even just today. And there goes a Jet Punch. Going to do just 30 and 30, choosing to do the residual match damage to the Buzzwole with the energy on it. There's a Float Stone, so he's got the evolution and the Float Stone ready to go. And now he's going to be considering what direction to go in next. If he's feeling a bit risky, he could actually try and dig for a one-hit knockout here. All he needs to do is find 2 Max Elixirs, or rather an energy and a Max Elixir, but actually opting to go for the Remoraid using Bloodthirsty Eyes. And just going for a Sycamore straight after that. Now, very interesting. So now either a strong energy attachment or the benching of a Regirock would get the KO for him on the Remoraid, which would be pretty good. I feel like he might have missed both. Oh no, he's got the Brooklet Hill, so he will be able to use that to bench a Regirock, and it's right there ready for him at the bottom of his deck. So he does now have the KO on the Remoraid.
Excuse me.
That's okay. Oh,
Max Elixir.
He's got the Max Elixir for good measure as well, so and that is a hit, so that makes it 23 out of 34. Our beautiful exact 2/3 is ruined.
Oh, too bad. I bet Jasper is still happy.
Oh yeah, well at least it did hit, so. Here comes the retreat, and Jacob quite cleverly spreading out his energy attachments, so he put the Max Elixir energy onto the Buzzwole, he attached a hand onto the Lycanroc, and so now the Lycanroc's threatening the Dangerous Rogue, and already this game is looking a lot better for Jacob than the last one.
And another failed Max Elixir.
Oh dear. It's 23 out of 35. Not the best. On a more serious note, that's actually a bit of a problem for Adrian as well. He can't really threaten that Dangerous Rogue the same way Jacob is right now.
He has a Sycamore, and well, he drew into some energies and another Max Elixir.
Oh, and a multi-switch, so actually he hits the Max Elixir.
Wow, he could put Jacob under enormous pressure.
He could get the one-hit KO. Not only that, but look how tiny Adrian's bench is.
Yeah.
If he is able to pull this off.
Yeah, he decided to go for the Brooklet Hill first, which is quite clever because if you remove a Pokemon card out of your deck, your odds are a little bit better of drawing into an energy from that Max Elixir. And if you are at such a crucial point, you really want to make sure to make your chances as high as possible.
Yeah, definitely. Also, not only that, but it's quite cool for him that, or rather, he hits the Max Elixir off the last card. It's very, very, very strong. He's able to hits the Max Elixir just there, so that's another one to add to the tally.
He hit it?
Yeah, he hit it. So
wow, that's huge.
yeah, so now he can do the multi-switch, attach to the active, and get the KO on this Buzzwole here, which makes for a very, very strong turn indeed. And not only that, because Adrian only has doing the hill once is fine, because even with 2 on the bench, Dangerous Rogue is not threatening anywhere near enough damage to actually do anything meaningful.
But he considered not to go for the big run.
So just instead of having to keep doing Jet Punch and instead make the Sudowoodo a threat for the next turn, which is a completely valid play in and of itself, as we've seen so many times. Sudowoodo can be very, very scary to deal with.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to not be that greedy.
Yeah, because that's Jacob is kind of playing into that right now. Jacob's bench is absolutely huge, so Dangerous Rogue could have put him in from Adrian's side, could put Jacob in a spot bother later on in this game. Got to be a little bit careful of that. Now,
there comes an end. Jacob's already down to 5 prices, so Jacob is drawing 5 new cards, whereas Adrian still hasn't drawn a prize card yet, so he's drawing 6 cards.
Indeed. And so, here we go. That's the cuts. Let's see what Jacob gets after this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He's looking like I don't really see the energy, which is unfortunate. No, actually, just attack straight away after doing that. So we'll actually KO the Rockruff, which is a pretty big deal. And I imagine that's the other reason why Adrian opted to put both his Max Elixirs on the Sudowoodo instead of threatening with the Rockruff as well, because he would have just lost the energy anyway. So that wouldn't make much sense. Now, something cool that could happen here, actually, is because he did the cool Jet Punch last turn. He could do it again, and actually that would then pick up the knockout on the artillery, which would cut off Jacob from his draw engine, which would be very good for Adrian. And the alternative play would be to go for the multi-switch now and go for that quote-unquote greedy play now. But I actually think you might be better off waiting 1 turn, just doing Jet Punch again, and then doing that next turn, because then you could just do something completely fresh and then slay that Buzzwole for later.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of Buzzwole, there's a fresh one going on to Adrian's bench right now off of the Brooklyn Hill.
Looks like he's considering what to do next. Oh no, he's waiting.
Yeah, he's just shuffling right now. There is strong energy going onto the Buzzwole, just getting that ready to do something later on, and just gonna go for, yep, indeed, gonna go for the Jet Punch. Doing 60 to the active
and knocking out artillery.
Yes, which is very, very big indeed. 1 prize for Adrian. Back to Jacob. He is got to consider his options carefully now. He's got enough energy so that he can just attach 1 to the active and KO Buzzwole if needs be. And I imagine he would quite like to do that, but it would practically guarantee him being KO'd back next turn, which wouldn't be ideal.
Definitely not.
Yeah, and equally, he does have a replacement rim rate. That's good for him. So, and he does opt to attach the extra strong onto the active. So choice bench Buzzwole for good measure.
This Sudowoodo is just waiting for it.
Yeah, and
actually he attacked with Jet Punch.
Yeah, because he had done enough damage from previous turns that with the extra strong energy, Jet Punch was enough to get the KO while setting up the extra damage on the bench Buzzwole, which is really, really good. Now
this Sudowoodo is not going to deal that much damage.
No, in fact, it's only going to deal 30 and 30, which is far from ideal. And that's the reason why it was quite good that Jacob was able to get the KO with Jet Punch, because it makes Watch and Learn a lot less effective. And that is another Max Elixir miss. Poor unfortunate Adrian. He's now just looking off of the Brooklyn Hill, and they now. So you're actually going to go for the Regirock off of the. They're going to go for the Regirock off of the Brooklyn Hill.
Yeah, to do some more damage at least. Okay. Regirock on the bench.
Yeah. Sorry about that, we had a brief interruption from the judges to clarify something to do with deck list, so we're all good now. And there goes a Floatstone onto the Regirock as well. And are we just going to see a watch and learn? I think we're going to see a watch and learn. Yeah, it's going to be able to... Is it picking up a... Oh, it actually still is enough. Okay, cool. So I guess there was enough damage already on there where the Jet Punch would have done enough. So it's hard to see because some of these dice.
Really hard to see, yeah.
Some of the dice just seem to turn completely invisible. So then now this means that Jacob has got to figure out some kind of response. He promotes his own Buzzwole. Draws a card. Now he can't get the KO on Sudowoodo yet. Even if he were to attach a strong energy, that still wouldn't be enough. So Jet Punch would only be doing 60. Because that choice band obviously has no effect on non-EX or GX Pokemon.
Yeah.
But instead he does put a choice band on the Lycanroc. A potential play here could be to Guzma, either the Buzzwole or the Regirock. Probably more likely the Buzzwole because that's an actual attacking threat. And that's indeed what happens. And actually Adrian just concedes.
Wow.
Off the back of that.
Oh, there was already damage on the Buzzwole, so...
Yeah. So, with that, the score ties up at 1 apiece, and we move on to game 3.
What a tough series.
Yeah, it's mirror matches are always tough. Whether they're 60 card mirrors or whether they're the slight difference like with the multi switches of the card being breaks, you just know that essentially you're almost just trying to play against yourself. You know, it's kind of thing. Okay, I know what my deck does. My opponent has got mostly probably the same options I do. What can I do to make my options work better for me than his?
Yeah.
And it seems like both players have found some way to sort of make it work right now, but I find it very, very hard to say on this basis who's going to win game 3 because both of the 2 games have basically just been a matter of who's been able to set up first and run away with it rather.
But that's always how mirror matches work. It always depends on who draws just a little bit better, who manages to do his setup first, and who manages to contain dealing damage.
Yeah, exactly. So again, nice thing is that we still have just over 24 minutes left on the clock, so there will be plenty of time left to finish out this third and final game, and we're almost certainly going to see a winner here, although last time a certain Jesper Eriksson said that earlier that game did actually end up being a tie, so who knows. Anything can happen in Pokemon, Lydia, and it usually does, so...
Okay, looks like they are ready to set up. We see Remoraid, Rockruff, and Tapu Lele on Adrian's hand, which is actually a pretty good start.
Yeah, I imagine he'll be starting with Remoraid. Actually, I thought he might be sort of starting with the Rockruff, but I guess he'd rather preserve that. And yeah, just going to choose to bench the Rockruff instead.
Maybe he was thinking about, well, I might attach a Floatstone anyway, so
yeah.
Not too bad.
So 6 prizes, handshake, and we are off. There's Brooklet Hill. So that's a great card for him to open with already. He's going to be able to find himself a Buzzwole for this, or maybe even the Carbink if he wants to go for the early Carbink break, having that access to the early energy acceleration.
I think he's looking for that Carbink, but I haven't seen it in his deck.
I think he might have been price checking quickly.
Yeah.
So there goes the Buzzwole. There goes the Tapu Lele as well. He's going to be using the Wonder Tag ability, and it looks like he's going to grab himself an N off of that.
Yeah, both of these players are not using Bridget.
Well, the Buzzwole Lycanroc deck is one of the decks that can most get away with not using Bridget. Its setup works in a simpler enough way that you can just set up whilst also drawing cards at the same time. And actually, that's one of the big appealing factors of this deck, is that it is a deck that can get away with doing that.
Yeah, sometimes you even though see players play Bridget. So we see an N.
Yes, we do. Now,
Adrian managed to have a pretty good start. If he is now able to retreat Remoraid, I can see him a little bit ahead, but still, Jacob has not had a single turn yet. So.
No, he hasn't. So, here we go. interesting to see Jacob's hand off of that end. Not sure how good it actually was. Adrian's hand is okay for next turn, but not got much going for him to do this turn. Just makes the energies, and actually, yeah, he just actually passes after playing that end. Oh, there's a Buzzwole from Jacob. That's already pretty good. And following that up with a Brooklet Hill, so you're going to be able to use that to grab, I'd imagine, a Remoraid. Yeah, that is what indeed what he goes for.
It's always nice to see in mirror witches when you realize that both players kind of try to follow the same strategy, try to get the same Pokemon out for their setup. And, yeah.
Here comes a Max Elixir as well. And that is a hit. Is that 25 out of 38?
Yeah.
Very nice. And there's an attachment hand as well, and after that, just a Cynthia. Now, what Jacob would love to see this turn would be Floatstone plus Regirock. Then he would be able to just KO the Remoraid straight away while setting up damage onto a bench Buzzwole, but it doesn't look like he's been able to do that, so he might have to be content with passing it. And that is the way he has done.
And there we see the carving.
Yes, we do. So
it was in his deck.
Yeah, he just chose not to search for it at that exact moment in time. Going to go for the Brooklet Hill again. He's got one more bench slot free.
Regirock.
Yep, so wants to make sure. The reason why Regirock is so great, even just as a one-up in these decks, is that it's a great math fixer. So being able to turn that 50 from Jet Punch into a 60 knocks out a lot of really relevant basic Pokemon in the format currently. Like well, Zora you could KO any because of weakness, but stuff like Rockruff, like Remoraid, just like a lot of these commonly played evolving basics actually have that sort of number of HP. And as a Guzman.
I think, by the way, Regirock is the only EX card that is still seeing play.
Other than Volcanion, yeah.
Yeah, Volcanion too.
Yeah. No, but you're absolutely right that Regirock is one of the only ones because, I mean, you don't really even use it for much else except for the fact that it just boosts damage. So, yeah. Well, it was funny. I was talking to one of our earlier feature match players, Enrique Avila from the US. He was like saying in his game he should have considered attaching to Regirock and actually attack a Bedrock Press instead of the actual play line he did, but he ended up not. Something we should of course mention actually that's cropped up in Scene Play recently is the EX Mew. That's still legal, so that's seen him playing a lot of stuff recently just as a versatile attacker.
Wow.
I'll see myself out. So.
Back into the game.
Yeah, swiftly back into the game.
We have two Buzzwoles in the active position. Both already attached, have some energies attached to it. And, there we see the third energy on Buzzwole using Absorption GX. Jacob now KO'd Adrian's Buzzwole and managed to take the first prizes.
Yeah, it's interesting he's done that because Adrian can threaten the KO fairly easily here. All he needs is one energy, which he very plainly already has, and a Lycanroc, because there's four on the Jacob's bench right now, so Lycanroc would get the KO with the Danger Road GX. But, has Adrian missed it?
Yeah, he missed the Lycanroc.
Oh, wow. A very fortunate miss for an unfortunate miss for Adrian,
and he missed the Max Elixir.
25 out of 39. Oh, if he hit that as well, I would have gotten us back to 2/3 exactly. That's so sad. There is. Yeah, no, that is a huge miss from Adrian though. On the more serious note, that means that now Jacob's absorption has paid off because he can now just attack again next turn and get a KO on something. And if he's able to use that fact to get a KO on a GX, maybe even on Adrian's Buzzwole, Jacob might just run away with this game completely. And Adrian knows that was a big miss for him. He's kind of strained body language there, wondering what the best move to make next is. He doesn't have a float stone he could attach, it's just something he don't need to retreat, but actually just going to shuffle his hand instead.
Yeah, he used to absorb into X last turn, that means this Buzzwole is still able to attack.
Which, again, sort of, it was, what we're trying to get at is that because the Buzzwoles like to be KO'd back in the danger zone, it was quite a risky move because it could have just essentially used the GX attack for no reason, because if you're going to get KO'd anyway, you might as well use Knuckle attacks, because it still gets the KO, but that's not what's happened. So now Adrian's thinking, what do I even want to attach to at this point? What helps me? There is, see, actually a basic fighting going onto the Tapu Lele. And Floatstone onto the Rockruff, and actually just going to pass there and multi-switch. Is that going to knock out?
100, 130 plus 40 is just not enough.
No, it's not. He's, I think he might have, okay, either he's doing one of two things. Either he's setting up for a Jet Punch next turn, or he's, or either that or he miscalculated. I think it's more likely to set up for a Jet Punch next turn, but either way, if you're Adrian, you've got to be feeling pretty sad right now because there's the artillery down on Jacob as well, so even if Adrian is planning to end him next turn, that won't help him that much. Jacob's going to take 2 more prizes here and take a tremendous lead.
Yeah, and it's not that Jacob has nothing left on the bench. There is another Buzzwole, and there is a Rockruff, or there are even 2 Rockruffs, and he still has some energy attachments left. We see a Max Elixir.
Will this one hit? No.
You can see Adrian's relief.
Yeah, because if that hit, that could have been a potential checkmate board state over there. But no, instead just a Cynthia.
Yeah. Jacob is now really looking for some energies. Is he going to draw them?
That's what we're about to find out. Here we go, Cynthia for 6. I don't see any. Oh, that's one.
The last card.
Yeah. And a Max Elixir too. Does this one hit, maybe? Yes? No?
Yes.
It does. Okay, that's pretty huge. So now that can go onto the Buzzwole, and I don't believe he's attached to turn yet, so he can use the engine hand, put that somewhere. Maybe
he decided not to.
Maybe
we missed it.
Yeah, maybe this was manual.
Yeah.
So, but by this, I'm pointing at the first energy on the bench Buzzwole. So, but I mean, he's still in a fine position. He's only one more attack away from being able to get a KO with a Buzzwole on pretty much anything that Adrian puts out, because of that choice ban. That's going to be enough to push the damage over the cliff.
Wow.
And so Adrian's going to really struggle here because there is one fully powered and one almost fully powered attacker ready to go on Jacob's side, and if you're Adrian, you've got to be staring that down thinking, how do I deal with both of these things at once? The only way I could see it is if Adrian was playing Enhanced Hammer, which we know for a fact that he isn't. Maybe you do a hammer on the active, just get some stuff done that way, but no, actually he's just going to go for a KO onto the thing, and there's the energy.
Game for Jacob.
And Jacob breathes a sigh of relief. He can't. It almost looks like he can't. It almost looks like he can't believe that he won. And Jacob Mallender takes game 3.
That means he's in.
Yes, he is. Congratulations to Jacob Mallender. He's a new face, perhaps up and coming in the TCG scene for the UK, and able to put himself into 6-1-1. Very well done to him.
Yeah, very, very well done.
In fact, I say it's so well done. I'd say that it might be good to get him back here and have a chat with him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, wow, that game 3 was incredible. Just how much Jacob just ran through him.
The first 2 games were pretty close, and both players were kind of on the same level. But in this last game, Jacob had a really good run. Yeah,
hitting all the max elixirs, just getting everything set up, and just pressure after pressure after pressure, and you can see,
insane.
You can just see how well that ends up sort of benefiting. So I believe it. So our winner is just making our way over right now. So we're going to be cutting to a little break just to get him set up here and ready to be interviewed. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a bit. Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm here with Jacob Mallender, who's Mallender actually. It should be.
That's cool.
Who was just took a very close game 1 and 2, but kind of steamrolled game 3 just to sort of sweep that. How do you feel?
I feel really bad for him. He missed an elixir, which should have won him game, and I had to call him out on the Lycanroc. Really relieved though that I've made day 2 now.
Is this the first time you made day 2 at this tournament?
No, Sheffield last year with Turbo Dark managed to.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
This year, it's really good for you to points.
I bet, because I say one of the reasons why I decided to feature you and Adrian, because we had not really seen your names much on stream before, so we decided it would be good to sort of have both on. And
it was great first stream.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again. So we were talking a little bit just before we started, and you said that you really don't like the mirror match for Buzzwole Lycanroc. What don't you like about it?
It's really awful because the elixirs cause such a lock element, so it takes some of the skill out of it. But the Lycanrocs back and forth can be really annoying, and you have to use your GX so carefully. It's obvious.
Yeah, speaking of which, there was a point in game 3 where you opted to go for the absorption.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was where you had 40 damage on, and you were saying were you kind of just hoping at that point that he didn't have the energy like Rock to KO you back?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I felt like I was really on the back foot in that game, which it didn't seem like it was. Like, he sycamored 3 energies away, which was crazy, and then he didn't hit. So, it was kind of like a all-in, which worked.
Because something else, like, you could have still gotten the KO with Knuckle Impact, and then you would have still been potentially fine. Even if he KO'd you, then you could could have still worked out, could have maybe done Dangerous Rogue later. But
I didn't have too much going on in the back, which is kind of like I wanted to be able to take 4 prizes with the active. So
and obviously it paid off because it won the game. Were there any particular moments from the games 1 and 2 which are particularly memorable to you? I want to sort of like talk about.
Missing the energy game 1. Game 1, I said to him, we both agreed, I was super greedy. I sycamored when I had energy and had to try and get strong to kill his Remoraid while I had Regirock. Completely the wrong thing to do, don't do it. It was just cool.
Oh yeah, because you didn't draw any energy.
I didn't draw any energy. I got so far behind him, I just lost from that.
But you were able to put back in game 2 and 3 though, so that was really good. And I think it's quite good that you noticed to concede early on game 1 as well when that happened as well. So because you're able to do a full 3 games, and that's something that's really important as well. Because so many players they don't recognise. They just don't recognise the importance of like knowing, right, this game is lost and I only have 50 minutes. I need to make sure I finish a full series.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
So you're now on 6-1-1. There's one more round left. Are you thinking about ID in the next round?
I plan to. I think 20 points gets me in, and I just want to
that's your main focus. So because obviously some people they would prefer to play just to maybe have a higher chance of top 8ing in day 2, but it's
I'm kind of make day 2 kind of player and do that consistently. Whereas
no, that's pretty fair. Well, listen, again, congratulations, very well done to you. We definitely should see you in day 2, guys. We've got one more round of action ready, not ready. We're waiting for you after this round finishes. Don't go anywhere because we've got one more round to get through still.